Hey guys, welcome back, and it's another episode of this weird Danganronpa game. Trial time for the death of Chihiro this time. So we were 15, we are now just 11, and we're gonna be just 10, which is kind of weird. And there's a running theme, a couple running themes so far. I keep befriending people and causing them to be killed. At the moment, I don't know if that's part just chance, it's just happening that way, or is it actually a function of the game? So I wonder if somebody else were to play this, they might pick somebody else and they get a slightly different arrangement of story. I don't know. This seems way too story focused and driven for that to be the case. I think it's just random chance. Also, I'm trying to voice act without any skills or knowledge of how to do that, and it's going poorly. And it's especially poorly because the people who are dying are the ones that I have the least effort in putting into the voices. The hardest one is Monokuma, and that's probably the hardest to hear me do. And, of course, he can't die because he's evil. But we're going on to the trial now. This is just Chapter 2. We've had a lot of videos by this point, compared to what we normally do, I feel like. And very long ones at that compared to what we normally do. So let's talk to everybody. No break this time between episodes for me. You ready? We doing this? Bruh?
Well then.
I will uncover the villain who performs such heinous acts on a weaker individual. I don't know why the killer did what they did, but I'm sure it'll work itself out. Justice always prevails, right, bro? I'm not your bro, he's your bro. Mondo's your bro. Kyoko's not a bro, she's a co.
Shall we go?
Shall we begin?
Oh, very.
Miss Fujisaki, I must admit, for being 3D, she was quite remarkable. Of course, just the idea of 3D makes me cringe.
That's so weird.
Hey, come on.
Fucking Toko, man. What's got her so worked up? You're not even focused on... Everybody's talking about the victim, and you're just like, Toko's crazy. Okay, Toko's crazy. There is something odd about Toko's behavior. I do not think mere shock is enough to explain it. Nope, I talked to you already. Hina. Damn it, Celeste! Your dress is too big. I guess I wasn't much help at all in this one. Yeah. Stop eating donuts and help us out a bit more, please. I gave you plenty to work with. Show us how far your logic can take you. You guys are always so much fun to talk to. We have no choice, right? We have to do this.
True.
Yes. I gave a small nod in reply. With one last deep breath, I walked toward the elevator on shaky legs. With each step forward, I could feel my heart starting to race faster and faster. As soon as everyone was on, the elevator began to descend. I couldn't get a handle on my emotions. I couldn't stop speculating. The steel box sank with heavy clunking sounds deeper and deeper into the ground, and as we went deeper, the uneasiness in my heart grew bigger and bigger. The elevator was unaffected, however, and continued to descend without hesitation. Until finally... room service. It came to a sudden stop.
What do you think?
Oh, he did redecorate. What the hell?
I redecorated. Isn't it so fresh, so exciting, so clean?
Don't waste our time with stupid questions. Let's get this over with.
Very nice.
Good. You're rip-rearing to go. Gotta say, I don't hate it. Not at all.
Well,
Okay, then, let's get this show on the road.
thrills, chills, kills.
That's amazing. I love that. Ringtone, maybe? Maybe? And so the curtain opened once again. A deadly judgment. Oh, wait, he said all this last time. Yeah, we're not going to keep repeating those. Lots of repeats, lots of flashbacks that I don't need. I wish those would stop. Oh, right. Skills and stuff. I got a new one, didn't I? Yeah, breathing technique, right? Is that the only one? Let me just check real fast. Yeah. Oh, no. Wait. Oh, I got 2. Right, I can't check out what these are at a time. So I had Melodious Voice. What does that do again? It increases damage to the opponent when a statement is destroyed, effective during the bullet time battle. Oh, yeah, that's the part that I thought was the hardest because it has the rhythm game element to it. And it's weird because I like music, but rhythm games I'm not so good at. So that'll get me through that faster. That's good. Breathing technique. The focus gauge recovers more quickly. Effective during nonstop debate, Hangman's Gambit, and the bullet time battle. Okay, yes. So I still have 7 left. These don't seem to be taking up that much. Algorithm. Increases the speed of memorizing a statement. Increases the speed of memorizing a statement. Effective during the nonstop debate. I guess... Okay, it's worded weirdly, but I guess that means... when you're in the nonstop debate, if you don't, do what you're supposed to do the first time and it restarts that part of the conversation, I guess I can fast forward faster. There is a time limit, but the time limit didn't seem too bad on any of those that I can remember. I don't know if difficulty goes up. This isn't...
Begin with a basic explanation of the class trial. So, your votes will determine the result.
You know what I'm saying.
If you can figure out who done it, then only they will receive punishment. But if you pick the wrong one, then I'll punish everyone besides the blackened and the one...
Okay, he's just repeating himself.
Let's talk about the murder weapon!
Okay. A blunt object. We assume it's the dumbbell. We assume... that's interesting. We assume it's the dumbbell if it is the dumbbell. And I'm not saying that's all it can be. But that was a big dumbbell. I would only expect Hina, Sakura, and Mondo to be able to lift that up. Maybe Taka. You would... I don't know about Kyoko and Celeste, but you wouldn't expect Toko... I was about to say, or Chihiro. Well, Chihiro definitely didn't do it to themselves. So I don't know if that's what it is, though. Okay, first we have to make clear what was used to deliver the fatal blow. Okay, locker room dumbbell.
Chihiro's fatal injury. It appears it was a head wound.
According to the Monokuma file, the killer used a blunt instrument. But what kind of blunt instrument could it have been?
Do I need to do that one?
I bet it was an iron pipe.
Oh no, what's wrong? Oh, I forgot. I should probably hold that one in firing.
Can we agree that the object that dealt the fatal blow was the dumbbell found at the scene of the crime?
While it's sad to lose somebody from murder in this game, it is nice that these sections are voice acted for me.
It was covered in blood, and there was nothing else at the scene that could have caused that kind of injury.
And the wound on the victim's head is consistent with the shape of the dumbbell. As far as I'm concerned, there's no mistake and no room for doubt on this one.
You looked at her head wound?
Yay! That's so creepy!
If you don't mind, I will proceed from here. Let's move on to discussion of the culprit. Although, I believe the criminal behind this heinous act is already quite clear.
What? For real?
Chihiro's killer is the fiendish serial killer, Genocide Jack.
Genocide Jack, the fiendish serial killer. Did he really kill Chihiro? Oh, they're not done adding stuff to this. Goody! Yeah, what's this new element? For this debate, lines of white noise will appear to disrupt your reactions. Your truth bullets will disappear if they hit these lines, so think of them as obstacles in your debate. But there's a way to keep this white noise from getting in your way. Press the A button to attach the silencer, which you can use to shoot down the white noise. However, if you shoot an actual remark with your silencer instead of the white noise, the time limit will decrease, so take careful aim when you have your silencer out. Oh, but if your action difficulty is set to gentle, white noise won't appear at all. I don't think it is. In which case, you can forget about the silencer and just focus on the situation in front of you. Well then, good luck, have fun. Have good va. I think I made that joke earlier. That is Silent Storm for anybody who's wondering what I'm referencing. Genocide Jack case file. Okay.
The culprit is Genocide Jack.
Oh.
I'm sure of it. Case closed, as far as I'm concerned.
Oh, I get time for that too.
That's impossible.
Why? What makes it impossible?
Well, I mean, come on. There's just no proof for it.
Oh, yes there is.
No, that's not. Might know one reason he could be involved.
What?
I found this file while I was looking around the archive in the library. I guess it's some kind of confidential file the police put together about the Genocide Jack case.
What? That's kind of weird as shit, isn't it? What was something like that doing in the library?
The why of it is probably more trouble than it's worth. So let's forget about that for now. More importantly, it outlines all the specifics of every Genocide Jack case in exceeding detail. According to the file, there appear to be two defining characteristics in every Genocide Jack case. The first is that a bloody message is found written at the scene of every murder.
Oh, that's right. Boob lust.
I was drinking.
No. It's actually bloodlust.
But more important is the other characteristic, and it's something that has never been made public.
Never made public? What the hell is it?
Why don't you tell them, Makoto?
The position, right? The other characteristic of every Genocide Jack case, which the world at large doesn't know, if I'm not mistaken, it has to do with the positioning of the body. How the victim was positioned. Yes.
I got it! Apparently, in every Genocide Jack case, the killer suspends the body in a certain way. Other than the killer, the only people who know about this are the higher-ups in the police department.
However, Chihiro was most definitely suspended in the same way. So, how did the culprit know about this when only high-level police officials were aware of it? There's only one logical answer I can think of. It's because the culprit in this case is the real Genocide Jack.
No fucking way!
You're saying Genocide Jack is one of us?
Yes, in fact, it's Toko.
Whoa. Excuse me, sir.
What?
Genocide Jack's true identity is Toko Fukawa.
You lie!
Well, I was thinking her or Celeste, and there was that promise, which is why I was leaning towards her, so I'm not surprised by that, but he knew?
What? Hey, okay, wait, hold on a sec. Toko has, like, bloodophobia or whatever, remember? What kind of serial killer is afraid of blood?
Oh, crap, yeah, whoops.
Is Toko Genocide Jack? The answer is yes and no.
What you talking about, Willis?
Another riddle? Man, why is this gotta be so complicated?
It's a riddle for sure, but I feel like I understand it. Oh, DID. Okay, I see what he's saying. Oh, crap. Disassociate... Oh, that's not gonna fit. What the f... Okay. So it's not going to show me every letter. It's going to probably show me some fake ones, but boy, it is really pushing S here, huh? Oh. This is not appropriate, but it is the answer. Come on.
Now I understand.
Yeah, don't call people schizo.
Is it because Genocide Jack has a split personality?
Huh?
I think I read that somewhere in the file, too.
Oh. You know what? I didn't put that together. There was that one line, I think it was the second page, where it was talking about the profile of the killer, and it mostly focused on when the murders were occurring. But there was that weird part I didn't understand where it said that somehow they had evidence that the killer hung around after doing the murder, but then seemed to always like flee in a panic. And I remember that only because I'm like, how do you have evidence of that? You know, that's a weird thing to have evidence of. She passed out when she saw Chihiro's body / blood, and then she started acting weird. So is that the trigger then? What I don't understand though is then how was she going from Genocide Jack back to Toko? There's another problem here though. Is this case saying she's the killer or somebody's copycatting her? Because I remember the case file also only listing dudes' names, for one, and for two, the hanging was different. It was always with like those scissors, and in this case it was cable. So is it her just doing what she can with what she's got, or is it somebody just copycatting?
They thought that the suspect might have, what did they call it? Dissociative identity disorder.
Oh, okay. But still, to go and say that about Miss Fukawa is...
Perfectly acceptable. Toko's strange behavior after seeing the body is proof enough that she has a split personality.
The one thing that shows Toko could have a split personality, it has to do with her behavior. Yeah, that it changed.
I got it! You're talking about how she started acting totally different than usual, right?
That's right. Think back. She fainted when she saw Chihiro's corpse, and then, when she woke up...
Yeah, but how does it go back? Yeah, no, we don't need to see this all again. We were all there.
She was acting funny, that's for sure. That melancholy tone of hers completely disappeared.
Don't go assigning adjectives to my tone without permission.
Not to mention, once she regained consciousness and saw Chihiro's body again, she was utterly calm. In other words, within her is one personality that can't handle blood, and one that obviously can.
So when Toko trapped herself in her room, it's because she was scared of Genocide Jack?
Okay. What was the promise?
The reason she locked herself in her room wasn't to keep other people from getting in. It was to keep her other personality from getting out.
What?
Toko was afraid. Afraid of the murderous fiend inside of her. Of killing even more people.
How?
Yeah. How can you know all this?
I do believe you misunderstood her. What she's trying to say isn't, how can you know all this? No. What she wants to know is, how could you tell them?
Huh?
Last night, just before Monokuma gave his motive speech, Toko and I had a strange conversation. She told me a most interesting story. She said a murderous fiend lived within her, and she was afraid it could appear and attack at any time. And that trepidation is what's caused her to have such a bleak attitude. Isn't that right, Toko?
This is all a lie. Right, Toko?
You said you wouldn't tell anyone.
What?
You promised. I can't believe you lied.
You have only yourself to blame. You came to me with your tragic little story. I didn't ask you to. This is the real world, not some romantic fantasy fairy tale. Besides, you broke your promise first. You said that as long as you were here, no matter what, you wouldn't let Genocide Jack kill anyone. But in spite of that promise...
Right. Okay.
You said if I kept my promise, you would go out with me. That's the only reason I promised.
How many times do I have to tell you? I never said that.
You know what? I believe Byakuya here.
But you weren't able to do it. You just couldn't resist that rush you got from killing, could you?
I tried. I swear I tried to control it.
But your efforts were useless. What a disappointment.
What triggers the change, though?
I hate you.
Well, the opening act is nearly finished. All that's left is to hear from the person in question directly.
The person you don't mean?
You can just ask? Toko's body suddenly lunged backwards. A huge thud echoed across the courtroom, but in the next second... That's Monokuma's music. Oh my god.
Well, hello there. Is it me you were hoping to see?
Is it me you were looking for?
Yes. What the heck? So you figured it out, huh? Well, whatever. What are you gonna do? I'm the ultimate murderous fiend, Genocide Jack! Or better yet, let's go with Genocide Jill!
What the fuck is this?
Toko, what happened to you?
Not Toko, that's a loser name, and what happened is a textbook split personality. So what if one of them happens to be a serial killer? You should turn a blind eye to one's faults.
I will never be able to do a voice for her.
She's so intense.
Like they say, sound in murderous mind, sound in murderous body.
This one is so different from the one we've come to know.
Yes, well, the world is composed of a front and a back, you know. Just like how every inning has a top and a bottom, or how in the depths of every truth lives a little lie. Behind every dark and gloomy soul lives another that shines as bright as the sun!
Oh good, this one's more annoying now. This is the murderous fiend Genocide Jack? This is beyond insane.
Miss Jack, Jill, can I ask you a question?
What's up?
Some of us think you might be the mastermind behind our entire situation. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, I'll tell you. I am the mastermind of all masterminds. Just kidding.
Then it's not true?
Of course it's not true! How dare you try to link me to that creepazoid! And another thing, the police and government and society in the outside world are totally powerless! I mean, they've just let this idiotic, bloodthirsty maniac go buck wild all over town!
I love that he said buck wild.
Sure, I'm a bloodthirsty maniac, but life is pain, right? To live is to hurt other people. It's a necessary evil if you want to survive. The act of living itself causes pain for everyone.
How am I going to do a voice for her now? I don't have the skills. I can't do the ones I've had.
Just kidding again!
This should be enough to convince you. This murderous fiend is responsible for Chihiro's death. There's clearly a motive, so there should be no doubt.
Is there a motive?
A motive?
Yeah, what do you mean?
Remember what Monokuma told us? If someone didn't murder and graduate within 24 hours, an embarrassing memory or secret would be revealed. Well, let's assume that Toko's secret was about Genocide Jack. If a secret like that came to light, Toko's life would have undoubtedly been forever ruined. So she had a very clear motive to never have that side of herself exposed.
Interesting. Very, very, very interesting. But sorry, as much as I hate to admit it, I'm not the culprit.
I weirdly believe her. I feel like Genocide Jill would admit to this.
Huh?
But I cannot imagine anyone other than you could murder someone in such a bizarre fashion.
Maybe so, but nevertheless, it's the truth.
Do you really expect any of us to believe you?
Yeah. I could never believe a word you say, you monster.
Maybe she's totally right about that, but something's still bothering me. What she said. I need to get more details about all this. What do you mean what she said? We'll just keep going. Oh. What are we doing? Okay. Status of the dead body. Status of the dead. Okay, this is going to be the part about how Chihiro was hung.
But I didn't kill anyone!
Oh god, there's a lot of these things now.
You say that, but do you really expect any of us to believe it?
Perhaps if you had an alibi, that would change things. Oh, an alibi, huh? Now we're talking!
When you compare your past murders to this incident, the modus operandi matches completely.
No, it doesn't.
No, that's wrong. Are the methods of murder really exactly the same? I'm not so sure about that.
I also have to admit something else here for a second. I thought the whole time that Byakuya was going to try and be the distraction on a pedestal here, but he's not. It turns out all of this that he's doing is to actually point it to Toko as Genocide Jill. So I'm starting to think I was wrong. Is it going to have been Byakuya having this knowledge and just somebody to pin it on? I don't know. Like, his character seems too above it to just do that obvious of a play, but it's starting to look that way.
I think there's a slight difference between the Genocide Jack cases and this one.
Huh? How's it any different?
Uh-oh, you don't know? Well then, human garbage, let me tell you!
He is garbage.
I murder with passion and conviction. I consider myself a professional, and I have a very particular way of doing things. Imagine you go to a fancy Italian restaurant. They're very picky about the noodles, the sauce, everything. But what happened to Chihiro? It'd be like if that same Italian restaurant started using ragu or Chef Boyardee.
As somebody who cooks sometimes, I shudder at the thought.
This is no creation of mine.
Let me rephrase that in a way that maybe makes more sense. There are two clear differences between the Genocide Jack cases and this one.
There's one clear difference between the murders. In the photos from the other Genocide Jack cases, look at the neck and stomach. Neck and stomach? What? Oh, I can't open the thing from here? It's gotta be this, right? Because, okay, so the scissors, it must be the scissors. Oh, okay. The pose, that is the fatal injury. I didn't think of it that way. That would make sense.
For one, the cause of death is different. In the Genocide Jack murders, all the victims were killed the same way.
I'm just realizing how poor of a detective I am right now in that I never once tried to read these screens like I do everything else that we do.
According to the case file, they were all apparently killed with a pair of scissors. But Chihiro died from a blow to the head, right?
Ah, yes. That is remarkably different from the other murders.
Wouldn't it be strange for someone who kills the same way without fail to suddenly change their method?
Yeah.
And there's more. One more conflicting detail.
It's the,
That's right. In my recipe of murder, if the bloody message is the tortellini, then the arrangement of the body would be the pesto sauce.
Could you please stop comparing killing people to cooking?
So, are you saying the other difference has to do with how the body was arranged?
That's right. The second difference is related to how she was suspended. In the photos of the other Genocide Jack cases, all the other victims were stabbed through their hands. Here, you'll see a clear difference. It would be what was used.
I got it! Do you remember what the killer used to suspend her? They used some kind of rope to hang her up by her wrists.
What is your point?
Well, in all the previous Genocide Jack cases, something else was used to suspend them. Specifically, pairs of razor-sharp scissors.
And guess what? I used my own specially designed scissors for the murders and the arrangement. Like I said, I I'm a professional, so naturally I'm very picky about the tools I use. And you know what else? Big Mac said there's 2 differences, but he's wrong.
Big Mac? Are you referring to me?
I had no idea. That's pretty good. I did say call me Mac at some point earlier.
Big Mac, there's actually one more difference.
Huh?
My word, you really didn't notice? Take a look at who the victims
I did notice, actually. Okay.
There's a pattern there, just waiting to be discovered.
Hold your pail of water, Jill. I do know it. Oops, sorry, Sakura. I talked
Figure
over you.
that out, and it'll be plain as death why I couldn't have possibly killed that little lolly girl.
Plain as death. It's that she was only killing duders. Yeah.
I got it! Is it because Chihiro was a girl?
Despite Brian's stupid thoughts.
Right on the money!
What are you talking about?
In all the Genocide Jack cases, all the victims had something in common.
Yeah, no, I already know.
They were all guys?
That's right! The people I kill with such passion and conviction are all adorable little men!
Whoa.
I can't believe I said it! I'm so embarrassed!
What?
The hell is wrong with you?
Right?
I can't help it! I'm just a full-throttle boy-on-boy fangirl, and the mopey side of me just hates it. But now I'm on the fast track to becoming a full-fledged fan madam!
So, since Chihiro was a girl and not an adorable little man, you wouldn't kill her?
Would an Italian chef suddenly start making ramen just because they're both noodles? Don't be stupid. I have too much passion and conviction to cross that line. That's the absolute reality of the one and only.
We get it. You've clearly explained your hobby and your philosophy. But that's not all there is to it. It's a different matter entirely, when you're forced to kill in order to survive.
Quiet, lowly cur!
Lowly? Cur?
I would never kill for a reason as petty as mere survival. And if by some fluke I did kill to survive, why would I bother with the message and arrangement? It'd make me the obvious suspect!
That does make some amount of sense.
It does, and I really do feel like as Genocide Jill, she would just be like, yeah, I did it, so what? What you gonna do? Kind of thing.
Plus, whatever reason I have for killing, I would never leave out my prized scissors. Who would go out of their way to use a big, stupid, heavy dumbbell?
Shit. Sakura, Mondo, Hina are the strong ones. I don't think it's Sakura because of the stain. How would Mondo have gotten in there? And Hina doesn't make any sense to me.
Maybe you used the dumbbell because
Hondo-
you couldn't find any scissors in the school.
Mondo, I call him Hondo. Mondo doesn't make much sense to me either. Why would he kill Chihiro either? None of this makes sense.
Any scissors? I don't just use any scissors. I only use my own set of high-class envy of the entire world scissors!
Okay, whatever. There still aren't any in the school.
Are you sure about that?
Yeah, there totally are. We got 2 different kinds in the toy capsule thing. Oh. Well, that's a problem.
She's fully equipped.
That's right! So I can kill anywhere, anytime! Why would I resort to dumbbells or rope when I have my trusty scissors by my side? Go ahead, tell me I'm wrong! You can't, can you, gutter dogs, all of you!
Whoa, I'm no gutter dog.
Not to mention, I have no clue how to tie a good knot! So rope's totally out of the question anyway!
I have no idea what's going on anymore! Could such a heinous villain really be innocent?
But the body really was suspended, right? And nobody but the police knew about that.
Yeah. That's why we figured it had to be the real deal and not some copycat killer or whatever.
Yeah, here we go. I'm starting to feel like a real idiot because where the hell is... There he is. Because he went out of his way to show us all that he knew. Like... I don't know.
My answer.
I don't know. I get it.
Byakuya, it's possible you could have found out, isn't it?
I feel like an idiot here.
You'd have no problem gaining access to classified government documents or internal police records. Plus, you'd already looked through the Genocide Jack file before this all happened, hadn't you?
Yes, and then shared it with you. Like, that doesn't make sense.
Are you saying Mr. Togami did it?
Then the reason he pushed the theory of Genocide Jack being the killer so hard was because he wanted to pin the crime on her.
So, he rearranged the scene to disguise it and make it look like I'd put my stamp on it.
How could he have rearranged? How could he have gotten in there?
The adorable glasses man was behind it all. Oh, I'm on fire!
Wow.
Well, Byakuya, what's your response?
I see. So now the suspicion falls on me. Then I must ask, when would you say I began acting suspicious? Surely you must have an answer.
Looking back and thinking about it now,
When he started acting suspicious, he started talking about this whole game stuff as soon as he was doing all the library stuff, right? So... But, like, specifically, I don't know.
the way you were acting right before we discovered the body was a little strange. You wanted to go to the girls' locker room right away, right? But since you're a guy...
I should have naturally thought of the boys' locker room first. Is that what you want to say? The victim was Chihiro, a girl. Hence why I said we should check the girls' locker room.
Nothing strange about that, I'd say.
On the contrary, there's something very strange.
Wait. That was when we found out that the doors were unlocked. Didn't Monokuma tell us something had happened to somebody? I never caught that. How otherwise would Byakuya have known it was Chihiro?
Okay.
Or a girl to begin with?
What's so strange about it? Go ahead. Share with the rest of the class.
Oh, good. I'm trying to solve a case. Let's add in a new element to the nonstop debates. What is it this time? Next, we're going to add something called a truth flashback. That sounds fun. If you aim at a weak spot and hold down Y, instead of shooting it, hold it down, then you'll memorize that weak spot. Wasn't that the skill? One of the skills I just had was memorize? This memorized phrase can only be shot once as a single truth bullet. If you shoot or change the truth bullet, it will disappear from your truth cylinder. However, you can use this flashback feature as many times as you want. If you don't seem to have the answer to a lie or contradiction in your loaded truth bullets, it might be wise to memorize a different weak spot and use that to make your case. When's the best time to flashback? Well, you'll just have to use your keen wits, won't you? In this case, though, I will say that if you don't use a flashback, you won't be refuting anything. Okay. I read it. I don't know what I just read. So it's not going to have to do with this Monokuma file. I have to memorize something.
So, you said Byakuya was acting kind of weird before we found
Oh, right.
But he was acting weird... how?
Okay, so I got to fire this at something.
With the opportunity to check out the girls' locker room.
You absolutely take it! That's a natural reaction for any guy!
The victim was Chihiro.
You didn't know that, though.
Girl.
No, that's wrong. I'll tell you what's so strange about that. Because up until we actually discovered the body, we couldn't have known who the victim was. So your claim that you went to the girls' locker room first because Chihiro was the victim doesn't hold up.
Cannot believe I didn't fucking catch that.
I see. That's a good answer, I must admit. Interesting. Very interesting indeed. But your reasoning is still too weak.
Huh?
What's wrong? Is that it? Surely you've got more than that. Go ahead. Show us.
Wait, were you about to throw down, man? Yeah, well, exactly. It's like he doesn't even care. I've got him cornered, but he's acting like he has nothing to do with him.
What's the matter? You're not finished already, are you? There must be more to it.
There is. I think.
There is more to it. Think about it. We just talked about the differences between this case and past Genocide Jack incidents.
Right.
The proof you're looking for is hidden in there.
Oh? Proof that I'm the culprit, you mean?
We're talking about the lamp cable, or the extension cord, or whatever. Oh god, what are we doing now? Okay. Yeah, desk lamp. Right, okay.
What? The difference between the cases? You want me to explain it again? When I want to kill, I use my very own special scissors.
Okay.
And I use those same scissors to arrange the body.
Okay.
But Chihiro was suspended with... It was some kind of rope. Was it not?
That's right.
Why couldn't I shoot that?
Then there must be something very fishy indeed about that rope.
Right, why can't I shoot these?
Byakuya, where'd you get it from, huh?
I'd never seen that rope before in my life.
Aha.
No, that's wrong. Actually, I'm pretty sure you have seen it before. Because, you see, that rope, or should I say, that extension cord?
What? An extension cord?
Byakuya, you've used the extension cord in the library more than once, haven't you? And the same extension cord that was in the library all this time?
Why would he give us all that information, though?
Went missing after the murder. And there's no way someone who uses that extension cord as much as you do wouldn't discover that fact.
Then Byakuya must be the one who took the extension cord. I can't imagine any other possibility.
That's really what you think? Then your conclusion is something like this? I killed Chihiro in the girls' locker room, then hung her up and wrote that bloody message. I intentionally made it look like Genocide Jack was behind it. Is that about right?
Yeah. That's why...
What's wrong? I asked you if you think that's what happened.
Oh, shit. Hold on. Was that in a regulation? He talked about it. Oh, you can't wrap around. Okay, let's go all the way over here. Okay. Okay, that's not a rule, huh? There was that thing earlier about being an accomplice, but we felt like there'd be no reason to be an accomplice. It wouldn't gain you anything. And I feel like the relationship he has with Toko, he wouldn't be Toko's accomplice. Toko would have been his. It doesn't fit.
Hell yes, that's what happened. So that's it, right? Byakuya's the killer.
I don't disagree with not disagreeing.
Thank you.
He kept calling this a game, right? So he'd be totally willing to do something like this to win.
Yeah, but he'd play better.
Sorry, but could we hold on just a second? I think we need to talk about this a little more.
Huh? Do we really need to? We've already decided who did it.
You don't decide who did it, you determine who did it.
I know, but still, there's something that's still bothering me.
Is that right? And what, pray tell, is still bothering you?
How did you get in there? Why would you share the information with me?
I killed her in the girls' locker room, then disguised my crime.
Right, that sentence right there is a problem.
Specifically, I dressed it up to make it look like it was the work of a homicidal psychopath. What about all that bothers you?
Yeah. No. Yeah.
I got it! You say you killed Chihiro in the girls' locker room, right? But are you sure about that? Isn't it possible that the murder took place somewhere else?
Yeah.
How disappointing. What kind of question is that? Even in the world of disappointments, this is a true letdown.
Okay, we are gonna throw down.
She was found dead in the girls' locker room. There is absolutely no question about that. How could the scene of the crime have been anywhere else?
Bodies can be moved.
Well, I think it's entirely possible that she was killed somewhere else, then carried there later, along with the rest of the murder scene.
Okay. But why would the posters have been switched, though?
The rest of the murder scene?
I get he's referring to the carpet.
That was awfully specific. Please tell me you have a reason for saying all of that.
I believe I do.
Okay, so yeah, whatever.
Hey, don't just move on without permission! What do you mean she was killed somewhere else?
Come on, Makoto. If there's any chance the murder took place somewhere else, let's see the proof.
Okay, evidence that shows the murder took place somewhere else. Okay, wait, he's saying something switched between... Well, there were two somethings switched. Right, there's that. And this. This is mentioning just the boys' locker room. This is mentioning both locker rooms. So I'm going to go with this one and hope I don't just fuck this up.
I got it!
Does that mean I'm right?
Proof that she was killed somewhere else is the poster that's hanging in each locker room.
Your proof is some posters?
The poster in the girls' locker room was a picture of a big-boobed supermodel. But don't you think that's kind of strange? Why would the girls' locker room have a poster like that?
I bet those massive jugs of hers were totally fake!
Thank you for your input.
Meanwhile, the boys' locker room had a poster of the super popular boy band Tornado. Again, that doesn't really seem to belong in a boys' locker room.
So you're saying that maybe the posters were switched?
And there's one other thing I noticed about the locker rooms. You know what I'm talking about, right, Sakura?
You're referring to my protein coffee, aren't you?
Protein coffee?
While I was in the girls' locker room earlier, I spilled some protein coffee on the carpet. But I noticed that after the murder, the stain had been totally scrubbed away.
Yeah, no, it wasn't. Do you want me to say that, or do you want me to say this? I think you want to say this, because it says boys' locker room.
I got it! The stain on the girls' locker room carpet wasn't scrubbed away. In fact, I found it on the boys' locker room carpet.
That's definitely the stain from my protein coffee.
Then, does that mean that the carpets were switched too?
But they were also under equipment.
But why would anyone do that?
To move the murder scene from one locker room to the other. It's certainly plausible, don't you think?
So you saying Byakuya did use Chihiro's e-handbook?
What? In other words, in order to completely swap the scene of the crime, the bloodstained poster and carpet were moved along with the dead body. By doing this, the killer was able to change the entire room where the murder took place.
I can certainly follow your reasoning, but why would the culprit bother doing that?
To dodge the gender of the killer?
Huh?
Why would they go through all that trouble of switching the scene of the crime?
Oh, they had to at the posters because blood was on it.
Actually, an even bigger question. If the murder did take place in the boys' locker room, then how did Chihiro get in the boys' locker room in the first place?
Oh. Yeah, that is a good question, actually. Shit.
To get into the locker rooms, you have to swipe your e-handbook across the card reader device, but Chihiro's handbook should have only allowed her access to the girls' locker room.
We never found Chihiro's. We only had Leon's, which wouldn't turn on.
She had no way to get into the boys' locker room to begin with.
No, she did have a way, and I can tell you what it was.
Okay.
I highly doubt that.
Shut up! I'm telling you, I know how she could have done it.
Is he right? Could Chihiro really have gone into the boys' locker room somehow? Broken e-handbook, right. She was using Leon's? Oh, because she wanted to work out alone.
Could Chihiro really have gotten into the boys' locker room somehow?
Ah! I got it! She must have hacked her e-handbook!
No, I was thinking that earlier.
She was the ultimate programmer, after all. I'm sure that would have been no problem for her.
No, I don't think that's it. She used the thing that was in the main hall.
Huh? What thing?
I'm talking about Leon's handbook.
No. Yeah,
No, that's wrong.
'cause it won't turn on.
No, I don't think Chihiro used Leon's handbook.
Why not?
Because Leon's handbook was broken.
Yeah, that idea doesn't work for me either.
Oh. Well, then, yeah, I guess that'd be pretty impossible, huh?
I am struck silent by how quickly you gave up.
Plus, isn't there a regulation against using someone else's handbook?
No, you're behind. We've worked that out.
Actually, the rule states that loaning your handbook is prohibited. It says nothing about borrowing one. In other words, you could borrow a dead person's handbook all you want.
Yup.
Oops.
Hit the nail square on the noggin.
I skipped the end of his line there.
Of course, if it were broken, that wouldn't make any sense anyway.
Sayaka and Junko were the other two.
So then, she must have hacked hers, like I said. She used her ultimate programmer skills and...
Psst! You can't fix an e-handbook. The instant you open one up, a security buzzer starts blaring.
But you did say there was one weakness.
So, if she didn't use Leon's handbook, and she didn't modify her own handbook...
Maybe Mr. Naegi's initial assumption is just wrong?
It seems like there's no way she could have got into the boys' locker room. So I guess so.
Okay then, I vote for Byakuya!
Is that it then? Chihiro was killed in the girls' locker room and Byakuya is the one who did it? Really? But still, I don't know what else I can do.
Hold on a second. I agree with you, though. I think you're on the right track.
What the? You finally decide to open your mouth and that's what you've got to say? There's no way she could get in the boys' locker room, right?
Why are you so sure she couldn't get in? There's still one other way she could have gained access.
What?
What are you talking about? What other way is there?
Well, to explain that, why don't we take a little break from the trial? I'd like you all to come see something.
Wait.
Yeah, what can we do that?
Just what do you think you're doing?
Don't worry. This'll make the whole trial more exciting. I'm sure that thought must please you.
Huh? It'll make things more exciting? Well, all right then. I declare an official class trial recess.
Huh? For real?
Now then, what is it you want to show us? It better not be boring or I'll be very unhappy.
Oh, I have no doubt it'll meet your lofty expectations. So, shall we go?
So before I even knew what was happening, the class trial had been put on hold. We headed off with Kyoko in the lead. And where she took us was the locker room, right? Yeah.
The girls' locker room?
We've already searched this place top to bottom! What are you trying to pull, Missy?
Who are you calling Missy?
I'd like you to examine the victim's body one more time.
You want to check it again?
Be sure to examine the entire body very carefully. Take your time.
Examine her carefully? Like using our hands?
Why hasn't anybody killed you yet?
No way, no way, no way, no way, no way!
It's probably best if I don't run my hands all over a girl's dead body.
It's not that I'm creeped out or anything, it's just based on religious grounds.
Oh, I know. I'm going to have to do it.
Very well. I'll do it.
See, Sakura, this is why I like you.
But you're a girl. You shouldn't have to touch a dead body. Just let one of the boys do it.
Why did the boy have to touch a dead body? What the hell, Hina?
No, it's okay. I think Chihiro would rather have a girl examine her.
Yes, as a boy, I agree.
So just leave this to me.
Sakura. What is this? Some kind of secret girl-on-girl action? Is that what you two are about?
Shut up.
That's not it at all. Stop screwing around.
Okay, here I go. I'm sorry, Chihiro. Please excuse the intrusion.
Putting her hands together in a brief prayer, Sakura then began to quietly examine her body.
Be sure to check her entire body, and I believe we will solve this particular mystery.
I don't know what's gonna, we already decided the murder weapon was the dumbbell. So are we about to learn that's not the murder weapon?
Her entire body? I know you say that, but... What? This is... What is this...
What?
What is it?
Not possible. It's not possible.
Sakura's eyes were staring wildly at Chihiro's lifeless form. Her massive frame trembled.
This girl is
what?
Is a boy.
What? What? Oh my, I gotta get up. Are you kidding me? Oh my god. I sat here thinking, I wonder if that section could possibly be edited out because I felt like such a dumbass. And that's it? Hang on, that changes everything. I have to go over the case now. Where's my paperwork? Oh my god. I wasn't joking when I said it, but yeah. Okay. So, okay, out of the dudes. So, because we have to put the dudes on the list for sure, without a doubt now, right? It's not Sakura. There's no way. She was way too surprised by that. She told us the thing. Hina still doesn't make sense, to me. I've had issues with the idea of all of this pointing at Byakuya. But... like, here's Mondo. Mondo, he could be it, right? Except... why would it be Mondo? I cannot fucking believe I was right about that. I thought we were going to find some weapon again. Oh my god, she can just go in the room herself. I bet her e-handbook is fucking fine. It says she's a guy. I gotta stop calling her she. She could just go... Chihiro could just go in there any single time. None of this mattered. It did matter. Oh my fucking god, it's Mondo. Why would Mondo kill her? Here's what I'm thinking now. Oh, holy crap. Hang on. Okay. Chihiro is hiding their gender. Everybody seems to think Chihiro is female, but is actually, biologically speaking, male. Wants to get stronger, wants to work out, will not work out with Sakura, will not work out with Hina. Those two don't know why. Now we do. Chihiro can go into the boys' locker room, but doesn't wanna, because some dude can walk in. Taka can walk in, Mondo can walk in. Those two you could easily see going into the gym room. Hifumi's not going there. Makoto's not going there. So chooses to go at night because we've specifically got this agreement to kind of stop hanging out at night, which, for the record, if you're in a situation where you are stuck in a murder school and you do not want to be murdered and there's an agreement not to go at night, don't go out at night. Anyway, somebody, Taka or Mondo, would have to have walked in on Chihiro being in there. I guess I keep leaving Taka out. I guess I gotta stop doing that. I keep thinking Mondo here. Although there is another reason why I think it's Mondo now. So anyway. Could they have gotten so... No, it's Mondo. Mondo's the one who's always saying the things about being a man and stuff like that. I was even calling him out early on as being just kind of like a mask of his toughness, and he's not really what he wants you to think he is. So I think Mondo killed Chihiro after finding out with this dumbbell. Okay? But I think I had that crazy idea about this in this because it felt to me like Byakuya is trying to make this stuff point at him, and I remembered the whole accomplice thing. So he's acting within the bounds of the rules, which aren't even written in the regulations, weirdly, as an accomplice to a killer, but I don't think he knows who the killer is. And during this case, I feel like Mondo was ready to be like, that's it. We figured it out. We know who it is. In fact, Mondo only reacted to settling on who the killer was when it was Byakuya, not when it was Toko. And the difference there is the genders. I think Mondo was smart enough to know that if it's Toko, these guys are going to be like, if this was ever found out. Okay, because I think Mondo killed Chihiro because of this gender thing. It's really gross to say, but hey, you know, look at the world we live in. And so this whole time, Mondo's not really sure probably how all this stuff I don't think Mondo hung up the body or swapped anything. I think Byakuya did all of that. And I think Byakuya did that to cause what I was talking about, like becoming a tank, becoming a look at me, aim at me kind of thing, and let me see who goes hardest on that. Because I feel like Taka and Hiro were all like, oh, it must be Genocide Jill. Oh my god, I can't believe I was fucking right about that. That's insane.
Ah, I see. So she was actually a he. Interesting. Thank you for confirming this fact.
What? You're joking, right?
I wouldn't joke about this.
Then it's really true?
Chihiro was a guy?
Oh, what? You guys didn't know? Heck, I knew that right off the bat. Chihiro Fujisaki was totally a guy.
Then he was a cross-dresser? Oh, I'm really on fire! I wish I had killed him!
So that's what Kyoko wanted to show everyone, huh? Interesting. Yes, that certainly does make things much more exciting. Now let's ride this wave of excitement back to the courtroom and get back to the trial. Ahem. I do apologize for keeping you waiting. Now then, let's resume the class trial. We've all just learned of the shocking revelation that Chihiro was actually a boy. Let's pick up from there.
That's kind of weird. Why is he narrating this as if we came from a commercial break?
Yes, well, I don't know his reason for hiding it, but the fact is, Chihiro was not a girl, but a boy.
I still cannot fucking believe that, man. Oh, I was feeling so stupid about that. Oh, are you sure, Makoto? Because you and I are supposed to be the same here.
And because the victim was male, he would have had no problem gaining access to the boys' locker room.
Right. Oh, I didn't say that other part of it. So if Byakuya is doing the swap, only 2 people have said so far that they knew about the e-handbooks at the front. You've got the one that doesn't work that everybody's assuming is Leon's. However, you've also got the other 2 who are both female ones. Byakuya is one of those who actually was aware they were there and could have grabbed one of them. And as he keeps pointing out, you can borrow from a dead person. It's not loaning out in that case. Hiro also knows about him, but you got nothing to point it to Hiro. And you've got Byakuya's behavior and whatnot about how he's talking about those.
Assuming his handbook did, in fact, list his gender as male, then yes, that would be true.
It would be because they're put together by Monokuma, who already knew.
Of course his handbook said he was a boy. He dressed like a girl, but he was a boy through and through.
Weird credit to this game for not like being like, you gross. Like, because maybe that's them doing another pulled punch thing with the whole girls can't be strong kind of stuff, you know?
So then, there should be no issue with Makoto's initial assertion. The victim was killed in the boys' locker room and was then later moved to the girls' locker room. And the killer could have easily used Sayaka or Junko's handbook to get into the girls' locker room.
So Chihiro really was killed in the boys' locker room?
I still don't understand the motive for moving the body, but yes, that does seem plausible.
I think I do. I think I was right about Mondo from the beginning.
Well, I must admit, I did find it rather odd.
Although, with Hiro, I never trusted that guy either, so we'll see.
I knew he felt a little off. There was a certain incongruity to his female body.
Hey, shut up. No, you didn't.
This is a most titillating situation!
So now everything has been connected. All the mysteries have finally become clear.
No, because they're still pointing at you, buddy.
Okay, well, connected or clear or whatever. We still think you're the killer, remember?
Right.
Very interesting. This has become very interesting indeed.
He's off in his own little world.
What about you, Makoto? After everything we've learned, do you still think Byakuya's the killer?
Well, without a doubt, Byakuya is the one that made Chihiro's death look like Genocide Jack did it.
Thank you.
But I think he might not actually be the killer after all.
What? But aren't you the one who accused him in the first place?
I had to. I was playing the game. It made me.
He just seems to be too easygoing about all this. Like he's enjoying us solving the mystery. The way he's acting, it makes it seem like it doesn't have anything to do with him.
And you think that might be because it doesn't have anything to do with him?
Plus, the evidence he left behind was a little too... how can I put it? overt.
Yes, he practically dragged us to it.
He consciously chose to use the extension cord, knowing it could connect him to the murder.
Yes.
At least, that's how I see it. And Byakuya, when you found out the murder took place in the boys' locker room, it seemed to rattle you. And then again, when you found out Chihiro was actually a guy, if you really were the killer, that stuff wouldn't have had any effect on you.
So that's your thinking, huh? Well, it bothers me that you don't have more concrete reasons, but it's fine. I guess I'll mark it as correct for the time being.
I don't think you're grading us, buddy.
Mark it as correct?
He's right. I am not the culprit. I just happened to come across the corpse in the girls' locker room and decided to alter it.
You came across it in the girls' locker room?
Are you fucking with us right now?
No, I am not effing with you right now. I'm telling you the truth.
Well, I find it very hard to believe.
Wait, why is he saying he came across it in the... What?
Go ahead. Find it very hard to believe. You're free to be executed along with the rest of us.
If you're really telling the truth, then why? Why do you do that to his body?
My reasons hardly matter right now. Uncovering the culprit is much more important, wouldn't you say? Now then, if it wasn't me, who was it?
Well, I don't think I can say for sure without talking about it a little more.
We're seriously gonna keep going? We're all good, aren't we? I thought it was clear Byakuya did it.
No, I'm with Makoto. If there's any doubt whatsoever, we need to explore every possibility. Because if we're wrong, we all die here.
Right.
That's true. Very well then. I'm with you too.
Damn straight. Count me in.
Do you not have a mind of your own?
Of course I do. What am I, an ant or something?
Anyway, let's discuss this all as a group one more time. We still have time to make our decision.
That's very true.
Our lives are all on the line.
Excellent. Then shall we resume our game of hide and seek?
Okay, so who's the real killer? I've got a guess, but unfortunately it's too much like a guess. There's one thing we can be sure that we know about the killer. The killer was able to gain access to the real murder scene, which means the killer is a dude.
I got it!
Since the crime scene was the boys' locker room, you would need a boys' handbook to get in. Since Leon's handbook is apparently broken, the killer would have had to use their own. In other words, it had to have been a guy. That's still not enough. I need to find some more clues. Celeste's account. That was running into Chihiro in the warehouse.
Isn't there a single clue that might lead us to who did it?
Well, clues are one thing, but did nobody get a look at the killer?
What do you mean?
Sure, if someone saw the killer, they would have said something by now.
Perhaps someone saw the victim at some point. Even that might be enough for now.
Yeah. All we need right now is any kind of new info.
It's over. It's all over. You want to know who saw the victim? The killer. And only the killer. And it's not like they're just gonna turn themselves in.
Oh, no.
Game over, man.
No, that's wrong. Because... Did he say the only one who saw the victim was the killer? We already know that's not true. Byakuya moved the body. Oh, wait. No, as a matter of fact, there is an eyewitness account regarding Chihiro. Oh, yeah. I'm sorry. I get what they're saying. It's not what I was going for. How do I speed up?
Did it? Well,
Because that was pretty far in.
I'm sure if someone saw the...
Perhaps someone saw the victim.
I love the sped up voices.
It's over. It's all over. You want to know who saw the victim? The killer. And only the killer.
No, that's wrong.
Saw the victim. I thought they said saw
I
the
believe
body.
someone else did see the victim before he was murdered. What do you think, Celeste?
Now that you mention it, yes, I did see him.
Huh? Really?
Oh, but I suppose only Makoto knows about this.
She says my name really weird.
The rest of you had no idea, did you? That is why you're all making such ugly noises.
Okay, get to the point.
Whatever! Just hurry up and tell us!
Thank you.
It was last night, right before nighttime. I saw Chihiro in the dormitory warehouse. I saw him stuffing a track jacket into a duffel bag, and then, I assume, he headed off to exercise.
A track jacket and a duffel bag? But we didn't find anything like that at the murder scene.
It seems likely that the culprit destroyed them to get rid of any evidence.
And that is when he said something that struck me as rather odd.
I better get going. I'm kind of in a hurry. A hurry to meet someone?
Chihiro told me he was in a hurry, but why would he be in a hurry?
Yeah.
Only if someone were waiting for him, I should think.
So Mondo kept saying, like, I'll protect you. I'm sorry. I'm, like, locked on it being Mondo now. Mondo said I would protect you. Did Chihiro go to him for, like... Because Chihiro is going so late at night to not be seen in the boys' locker room. But at the same time, Chihiro was also saying, I can't do this alone. I need help. And he's turning down Hina and Sakura because of the gender situation.
So, Mr. Fujisaki was on his way to meet with someone, and then they were going to work out together?
And of the dudes, it would be Taka and Mondo. I don't know why I don't think it's Taka.
But Hina and I had invited him to exercise with us plenty of times, and he always declined.
Probably because he was afraid you'd find out the secret he was hiding, right?
Which means that conversely, he must have trusted whoever he was meeting with very much. Enough so that he was willing to risk his secret being revealed.
Ooh, what a marvelous friendship! The point is, whoever he met up with is the culprit, right? So we just gotta figure out who it was.
Yeah, it's that easy.
But knowing what we know, I can't even guess.
I've got to guess.
No. You already have what you need to make the connection.
I do?
Huh?
You know who the killer is.
I do?
Seriously?
Who is it? Who's the killer?
Think back to the track jacket and duffel bag the killer disposed of.
Yeah.
Focus on the details of these items, and it should become obvious who was waiting for him.
Are you sure about that? You really think we can figure out who did it based on 2 pieces of evidence that we don't have?
What? You want to track down some fingerprints or something?
Sorry, I need to look at something. Hero doesn't have an account. Who was Mondo's? I don't know.
Even if we had the equipment for that, we wouldn't know how to use it.
As was noted, the evidence is already gone. There's nothing to get fingerprints from.
Maybe, but we can make certain inferences if we just take the time to talk it out.
Easy for you to say. But fine. Celeste, did you notice anything special about the bag or jacket?
The bag was just a normal duffel bag from the warehouse. All the bags in there are the same, so I can't imagine what would make that one special.
Is there a picture? I know there was a stripe on the... Oh, darn it.
Well, if I remember right, there was a decent variety of tracksuits to choose from.
Okay.
Do you think there might be some connection between the culprit and Chihiro's jacket?
Perhaps. Let's explore that and talk a bit more about the jacket he took.
Okay. What did I miss? Celeste's account, all right. Oh, that's a long one.
First of all, we know where Chihiro was headed.
Right.
He was on his way to go exercise.
Yes.
So next we have to ask, why did he choose the specific tracksuit that he did?
What do you mean,
Okay.
the specific
Yeah, what are you
tracksuit?
talking about?
I got it! He picked that tracksuit because it matched the one the culprit was wearing.
What?
So, what you're saying is, the killer was wearing the same blue tracksuit as him? My tracksuit is black.
I don't even have a tracksuit. Cause exercising sucks.
I have a white tracksuit.
Oh, wait.
I
Oh,
got it
shit.
from the warehouse, if you must know.
Hang on. Is this the first time we're talking about the color of the tracksuit? Mondo called it blue and said his was black. If his was black, how did he know hers was blue?
Any of that really help us get any closer to figuring out who the culprit is?
Did I...
No way.
He's the only one who just tried to say what color Chihiro's was.
You heard him, right?
Everything else was... Yeah. It's gotta be, right?
First of all, we
I just want to be right.
Why did he choose?
I've been shockingly right on a couple things. I just wanted to keep rolling.
It matched the one the culprit.
So, the killer was wearing the...
Yeah, how do you know that?
No, that's wrong. Hold on a second, Mondo. What did you just say?
Huh? What'd I say?
When Celeste testified a few minutes ago, she said,
Right. It was only blue in the account she told me.
anything about the jacket's color. So why did you say Chihiro's blue tracksuit?
What are you... You just...
Hey, Celeste, what color was Chihiro's tracksuit?
As a matter of fact, it was blue.
I fucking got him. I called him out. I called his ass out. I just don't know why, though.
Before we began the trial, did you tell anyone that?
The only one I told about any of this was you.
Then, Mondo, how did you know what color Chihiro's tracksuit was?
Did he really kill her just because... Or him, sorry. See, I gotta get that fixed. Just because of that?
Because I just...
I'm sure he saw the clothes at some point in the investigation.
All right, you're bros.
No, that can't be it. The bag and clothes were surely disposed of by the time we began our investigation.
Yep, we never saw him.
Then the only reason he could have known what color the tracksuit was is if he saw Cherry with it before he died. That's the only possibility.
So you're just gonna change everybody's name.
Cherry? Are you talking about Chihiro? So, how about it? Did you see the tracksuit or didn't you?
Just by chance. I just happened to see it last night.
When?
He walked past me, and he was carrying the tracksuit in his hands.
We only saw Celeste and Chihiro.
No, that can't be it either. According to Celeste's testimony,
Oh, stuffed into the bag, too. Right.
when Celeste noticed it, Chihiro made a point of making sure the jacket was completely in the bag. If you just ran into him briefly, you couldn't possibly have seen what color the tracksuit was.
It would appear you dug your own grave.
Perhaps. But you handed him the shovel, didn't you? That's why you said what you did. Focus on the tracksuit and it'll be obvious who he met with? What a bunch of nonsense.
Ah, now I understand. It was all one big bluff, wasn't it?
Hey, Byakuya's got no room to talk. He did the same thing.
Your true intention was to draw a slip of the tongue from the culprit. That's why you said you knew who did it. To put them on edge.
That's right. However, Mondo was my target all along. I had my suspicions about him from the very beginning.
Why?
Why? What made you so suspicious?
That's a good question.
Was it this? Because this is the thing that I've been jumping all over him on. Come on.
There was a certain turning point that tipped me off. Maybe you didn't notice it, Mondo, but you tend
Yes.
to refer to men and women differently.
Oh, I fucking aced this one, man.
You only call guys dude. For girls, it's chick.
Yeah, everybody knows you just call girls baby.
And after he was killed, you happen to refer to him as dude.
I did not catch that. I did not ace this.
Once I picked up on that, it occurred to me that Mondo knew something we didn't.
You notice such a tiny detail?
I didn't notice that because I call everybody dude.
She's a witch! You're positively frightful!
No, I'm not the frightful one.
Yeah, Mondo, ass.
Not nearly as frightful as someone capable of murdering a friend.
Mondo, was it really you? Did you really kill Chihiro?
I didn't kill anyone! You've been all over me, judging everything I say, putting words in my mouth. What gives you the right to treat me like a goddamn criminal?
Yeah, he would never do something like that. This is a false accusation.
It's true. My reasoning on that is pretty shaky.
That was fast.
Well, this does present us with a problem. It seems we are all out of leads.
My time has nearly come.
I don't like when he does that voice.
That's what my little ghost friend is telling me.
Excuse me?
Oh yeah, that reminds me. Hifumi, weren't you telling me you'd found some evidence?
Oh, yeah. Holy crap. I forgot about that.
Really? What kind of evidence?
Actually, now that I'm thinking about it here calmly, it might not be all that relevant.
Just let us decide.
Jeez, does your confidence just get up and walk away? It's fine, man. Just tell us.
If you really insist, then... here it is.
What do you have there?
It happens to be an e-handbook. I found it laying on the ground, so I scooped it up.
So we're still going with the assumption the broken one is Leon's. So it's got to be Chihiro's.
I got it! We know Chihiro's handbook was missing from the scene of the crime, right?
Where did you find it?
For a fact.
For a fact indeed. I was totally sure I'd found it.
Then it must hold some clue about the culprit, right?
Well, that's what I was hoping. But it's busted. It won't even turn on.
Wait, a second one is broken? We thought Leon's was broken because it would have been on him when he was executed with that baseball thing. Monokuma said that wouldn't have done it, which it says right here. The broken one is Mondo's. Because of that stupid crap in the beginning of this chapter with him and Taka, he wore his clothes into that sauna. It wasn't, Monokuma said, about pressure and water, but heat kills electronics too. Mondo's been walking around using Leon's. The broken one at the front is Mondo's, and he, just like Byakuya, knew. Oh crap, man! I think I got that.
I imagine the culprit broke it to get rid of any evidence after the murder.
Not on purpose.
That's odd. I didn't think the handbooks were quite so fragile.
You're right. They're not. They're totally waterproof and shock resistant.
Right.
It would take an awful lot to break one.
And yet, this one does appear to be broken, as is Leon's, sitting useless in the main hall. for all your confidence, that is a remarkably high failure rate.
Do you think there might be some kind of mystery in there somewhere? How precisely did the handbooks get broken?
How did the handbooks get broken? There's only one possible explanation. Yeah, we kept thinking Chihiro was doing it. Oh, wait. Well, I'm just answering this. I just had another thought.
You already told us before that the handbook has one weak point, didn't you?
Yeah! You remember that?
Of course.
Sure, maybe I let that slip, but I never told anyone what the weak point actually was.
But if the handbook is supposed to never break, and two of them broke in quick succession...
I'm thinking Mondo then brought the other one to break the same way because he would be the only one who knew the weak point. We thought Chihiro knew the weak point because of being a programmer.
Then we can only assume that someone's figured out its weakness.
Yeah, on accident, and then on purpose. Boy, he's red-faced.
You know what the weakness is, right, Monokuma? So, what is it?
Huh? You're asking me?
Yeah, why are you asking him?
I think it's a necessary piece of information if you want this to be a fair trial.
But if I tell you, and someone else decides to copy it, that would be very not good.
Make a regulation against it.
Just tell us already! Why would we want to break our own handbooks?
Oh well, I have a weakness for pushy demand. But you're sure you won't follow their example? Then allow me to make a special announcement. The weak point of my cutting-edge e-handbook is when it's exposed to high temperatures for too long, it will suffer a meltdown and totally break!
Yep.
I flippin' knew it!
No, you didn't.
You knew it?
No, he didn't.
Yeah, because I found the handbook laying on the floor of the sauna.
Okay, maybe he knew it.
The temperature in the sauna can reach over 200 degrees. Strange how you don't get burned.
Not strange, it's the sweat on your body.
It's because as your sweat evaporates,
Yep.
it creates a cooling layer of air around your skin.
Fun fact, it's the same reason why plastic doesn't melt in a microwave.
If the hot air of the sauna were somehow pushed directly onto your skin, you'd definitely get fried. That layer of air would get blown away. That's why you may feel a burning when you move around.
Mm-hmm.
So when you're in a sauna, make sure to keep nice and still.
Until you leave.
Wow, interesting. I learned one new fact today.
And knowing is half the battle. And nobody died, so we can move on.
That is a mere trifling speck of knowledge.
Anyway, if you found the victim's handbook in the sauna, then the killer must have been purposely trying to raise its temperature in order to break it.
Meaning the culprit somehow knew its weakness.
But how'd they find out? Monokuma said he didn't tell anyone, right?
Indeed. Quite the mystery.
What if they found out by accident?
Mm-hmm.
What do you mean by accident?
What if the killer took their own handbook into the sauna, not knowing its weakness, and it broke? They'd realize it was broken, of course, and it wouldn't be hard to figure out why. And once they had Chihiro's handbook, they knew they had an easy way to dispose of it.
I won't say it's not possible, but who would have done something like that? I don't know of anyone who took their handbook into the sauna.
I might know someone who did.
Whoa, seriously?
I think the one who may have taken their handbook into the sauna was...
Yep, you know too. Alright, it took forever the last time, so I think I gotta go this way. Nope, it's just as long. Yep.
Here's my answer. Mondo, your handbook got broken in the sauna, didn't it?
What?
Why? Why do you keep accusing him?
Mondo and Taka had an endurance contest in the sauna not too long ago, remember? And for the contest, Mondo just so happened to keep his school uniform on. But little did he realize, he'd also left his handbook in one of his uniform pockets. And when it was all over, Mondo discovered that taking your handbook into the sauna could easily destroy it.
No, wait, hold on. You've got it all wrong. He would never kill. I don't accept this. Show me the proof. The actual solid proof.
Okay, Mondo, show us your e-handbook. Yeah, broken e-handbook. That's the bullet I'm going to go with.
Let's test Makoto's assertion. If what he says is correct, then Mondo, you broke your own handbook.
In other words, if Mondo's handbook is actually broken, then that proves that what Makoto said is right.
Well, my goddamn handbook works just fine.
Yeah? Show it.
No, that's wrong. Mondo, the handbook you have right now, is it really yours?
The fuck is that supposed to mean?
The broken handbook that was in the main hall, isn't that one actually yours?
What the heck are you talking about?
What I mean is, I think Mondo swapped his handbook out for one that actually works. I think he took Leon's handbook and replaced it with his own. After all, Monokuma said himself that Leon's handbook never should have broken.
That's right! The punishment it suffered wasn't nearly enough to destroy it.
So then, the broken handbook in the main hall is actually Mondo's, which would mean that the handbook Mondo has right now is actually Leon's, yes?
But doesn't that violate the school regulation that says loaning out your handbook is prohibited?
Well, here's how I look at it.
Dead people.
There is a rule about loaning your handbook to another student, but if they're dead, they're not a student.
Yep.
It's kind of a gray area, I admit. But no worries. If anything, it just makes things more interesting.
For you.
As such, I decree that exchanging handbooks with a corpse is not a violation of the rules.
Well, Mondo, if I'm wrong about this, you're welcome to say so. I'm happy to admit I made a mistake, but...
Son of a bitch.
What's wrong, bro? Come on, tell him he's wrong. You are wrong. You have to be wrong. Everything you just said is wrong. You made it all up.
Okay, then why don't we look back on this case one more time, from the beginning? That way, everything will be...
Oh, is this the closing argument thing?
I'll see if I was right or wrong.
Okay. These are a little weird for me, because I'm uncomfortable with moving right to left. Right. Oh, nope. Okay. So this is when she's hiding that. Okay, so here... all the different poster angles for some reason. So there's one with the door. Here we go. Okay. The blue door, right? Yeah. Oh, you know what? Obviously it's not the case, but it never occurred to me that maybe the blue tracksuit were boy tracksuits to match the door, and like the women would have red ones. That doesn't seem to be the case, but I'm surprised I didn't think about that. Okay, he's got the dumbbell here. So what's interesting though is in this art, like, he's waving. Why would he do it? I don't know what's supposed to go there. Oh. Yeah, because it's by the wall. Okay, so this is going to be each step of the... Wait. Oh, okay, so I was wrong about a part of this then. I think this is taking the poster off. I don't know if it goes here or here, though. So did Mondo... I think this. Did Mondo grab Junko or whatever's? Sayaka's? I don't know if I'm getting this right. Yeah, okay. Here, so the room is done there. There was another poster one. That looks like he's putting it up. Yeah, it's got the blood on it by that point. The idea that Byakuya... I thought Byakuya switched the rooms. I don't know. Oh, is that the steam room? Or sauna or whatever? Oh, the electrical, or what is that? Heat? That's a weird way of showing heat.
The killer is you! First, let's take a look back to before the incident. Last night, Celeste saw Chihiro in the warehouse, correct? At the time, she was apparently stuffing something into a duffel bag. That something was a blue tracksuit. You can confirm this, right, Celeste? With bag in hand, Chihiro headed out, even though it was officially nighttime. She made her way to the locker room, specifically the boys' locker room. But how could the victim, who was apparently a girl, access the boys' locker room? Simple, because she was really a he, which is why he was able to use his own e-handbook to gain entrance to the boys' locker room. Once inside, he met with someone there, and the person he met was the one who killed him. It seems likely that the killer grabbed the nearby dumbbell, approached the unsuspecting Chihiro, and attacked him. And that's where the bloodstains on the poster and carpeting in the boys' locker room came from. It was likely in the heat of the moment. The body was arranged, but the murder itself felt unplanned. Which is why the killer hurried to try and hide the act. First, pulling up the bloodstained carpet, then removing the bloody poster, and finally carrying the corpse into the girls' locker room. A girl's handbook was necessary to get into the locker room, of course, but this alone doesn't prove that the killer was necessarily a girl. After all, Sayaka and Junko's handbooks had been placed in the main hall. Using one of those, a boy could get into the girls' locker room without much problem. And that's exactly how the killer did it. With the carpet and the poster they brought with them, they got to work. They changed the layout of the boys' and girls' locker room in what you might call a crime scene switch. That could have been the end of things, but no. Byakuya discovered the body and decided to intervene in the situation.
So this is
things even more complicated.
This is something that bothers me again. Just like in the first case, there's always been an element that hasn't been explored and made sense of. When Byakuya said that he came across the crime scene in the girls' locker room, I thought either that was an error or something like it that didn't make sense because the crime scene wasn't the girls' locker room. So here, this wraps that part up, saying yes, it was the girls' locker room to his viewpoint. But what's not answered here is why was he going to the girls' locker room? Not how, but why?
So, after stumbling on the crime scene, he went and grabbed the extension cord from the library and then he got to work. He used the cord to string up Chihiro's lifeless body. Then, using the victim's own blood, he left a grisly message there at the scene of the crime.
One other thing, so it just had a thought. It's got to be motive related, right? He was just trying to check everywhere because this had to be... I don't think there's enough time from when Monokuma was waking everybody up saying, hey, something happened to somebody. I think he had to just know that something was going to happen at night. But that's kind of weak, you know, without having him actually say that.
He wanted to create the illusion that Genocide Jack was responsible for the slaughter. And around the same time that Byakuya was putting together this facade, the killer, having already disposed of Chihiro's bag and other belongings, arrived at the sauna. There, they planned to destroy the last piece of evidence, Chihiro's handbook. And just as the killer expected, the steamy sauna was enough to ruin the electronic gadget. Somehow, the killer knew that the handbook couldn't stand up to the heat of the sauna. And the reason they knew that is because the sauna had already wrecked their own handbook. And that's how it all played out. Isn't that right, Mondo Orada?
Wait! No! This can't be right! Where's your evidence? Yeah! Where's your evidence? You need evidence! You need proof! Without any proof, you can't pin any of this on him!
Evidence that Mondo is the killer that already revealed itself earlier in the trial. Right. We can somehow show where Mondo's handbook is right now. We can. Once I do that, everything will become clear. A new element. Okay, this is the hard one. Okay. Fever time and nega time. Excuse me? During a bullet time battle, if you press the right bumper, fever time will activate and the tempo will be forced to its max. At this point, even if you push the buttons at random, you won't miss. So you can push them all however you want. Destroy the opponent's verbal assault. Okay, like a limit break. But this only lasts until your focus gauge runs out, so make the best possible use of your time. Of course, it wouldn't be fair if only you got access to special time, right? So we've also prepared something called nega time that your opponent can use. If they activate that, your tempo marker will disappear, making it quite a bit tougher to hit the buttons in rhythm. If you were to activate fever time at this point, no, never mind, I'm sure nothing would happen. I don't know what I was worried about. Okay, so apparently that's how I counter that. Unsurprisingly, if your action difficulty is set to gentle, the opponent won't use it. Well then, good luck and have fun. I don't know what I'm set to anymore. Because they didn't just use easy, medium, hard. Oh, I thought it would be Mondo yelling.
Show me some evidence! You're wrong! I won't listen! I refute you! False! Show me some evidence! I won't listen! False! I refuse to vote!
Oh, he's doing it to me.
Show me some evidence! You're wrong!
Yep, you're right. Like, you can just hit this at random, essentially. Although you still have to lock onto things here.
Show me some evidence!
I don't know how long this is going to last.
False!
Broken e-handbook.
Show me some evidence!
This should prove it! If my thinking so far is right, Mondo must have replaced his broken handbook with Leon's. In which case, we can just check each of our handbooks right now.
Which I said minutes ago.
Once we do that, we'll...
We don't gotta do that.
Huh?
Yeah. I did it. I killed him.
So tell us why. That's the only thing I don't know. Well, that and the Byakuya thing. Cool. Oh, I get money for that, right? Yeah.
Bro, what are you saying?
I got no choice, man. After hearing all that, I gotta just give up. Go ahead, Monokuma. Get it over with. Ask for the goddamn verdict.
Roger that.
Wait! Hold on!
No waiting, no holding on. Time for the moment we've all been waiting for. Grab your lever and give it a yank!
Phrasing.
Who will you elect as the Blackened this time around? Will you make the right choice or the dreadfully wrong one? What's it gonna be? What's it gonna be?
Now for the uncomfortable execution that we have to watch.
What?
Oh, it's back to me, huh?
Uh-oh, this time it looks like you got it right again. Yes, it is so. The Blackened that killed Chihiro Fujisaki was Mondo Owada.
Unbelievable.
In case you're wondering, the vote was not unanimous. Kiyotaka chose the wrong answer. You're treading very close to the danger zone, Mr. Ishimaru. You need to be more careful.
I refuse to believe it. There's no way he would kill someone.
Sorry.
What is this?
Why are you apologizing? Why? Why did you do it?
Now then.
Well, it looks like Mondo's taken a vow of silence, so allow me to explain on his behalf.
Actually,
The story of the murder this time is the sad story of two men. Oh, but for anyone who doesn't really want to hear it, you can hit the B button to fast forward the text.
Actually, I've been wondering what this is.
Anyway, there once was a young boy, and his name was Chihiro Fujisaki. He had an extreme inferiority complex regarding his own lack of strength. You're so weak even though you're a boy. He'd heard things like that as long as he could remember, and he couldn't overcome his weakness. On the contrary, he tried to hide and buried himself further and further into that weakness to take on the fragile form of a petite young girl. He had chosen that as his way out.
Now nobody will be able to say anything about even though you're a boy.
But no matter how tightly he wrapped himself up in that shell, the inferiority complex had already taken deep root inside of him and was not easily weeded out. As it turned out, the shell was completely empty. The complex didn't disappear. Instead, it only grew stronger and stronger. I'm weak.
Weak, 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 weak.
Once the killing game had begun here at the school, he had no choice but to accept this fact. After all, this world is survival of the fittest. If you're not strong, you don't survive. And then the lovely and hateful Monokuma announced the revealing of the embarrassing secrets, which of course included Chihiro's embarrassing secret, which I was more than willing to divulge. Even though he dresses like a girl, Chihiro is actually a boy.
hey,
And that was something Chihiro couldn't let anyone find out, no matter the cost. If that was revealed, it would be the end. The hardened shell would crack, the armor would fall away. Without a doubt, those around him would torture him more than ever before. Everyone figured being thrust in such a dilemma must have sent him spiraling into despair.
What?
And yet,
I'm sorry.
I don't really want to talk about it right now.
But
I also don't want to leave things the way they are, so maybe I can talk about it later? After I try my best to become strong, then I can tell everyone. Annoyingly, he used the threat of discovery to motivate himself to become stronger.
that's right.
Now's my
I
chance.
want to change.
Strong enough so that when someone says, even though you're a boy, I'll be okay. I'll get better. With that thought at the front of his mind, he resolved to take immediate action. And so, that day he made the commitment to begin exercising. He was prepared to retrain his mind and body. But sadly, that would be the first and only chance he would get at it.
Hey,
When he decided to start exercising, he thought it would be good to ask for someone's help. But he wanted to tell that person his secret first, and then ask them to help him from there. And the person he went to...
Yeah, that's right.
It was me. It sure was! The biker gang fella had been painfully clear about how important his manly promises were. So Chihiro probably figured that even if he confided in Mondo, his honor would make him keep the secret. Plus, Mr. Macho Mondo was the very symbol of a strong man that Chihiro had always aspired to. This is very difficult talking. Maybe talking to Mondo about it will help give me some courage. So, I think the nameplate should have changed there. Because I don't recall Chihiro speaking in third person like this. So he went and asked Mondo to help him become strong. That was his aspiration. And he thought that only with Mondo's support would he ever be able to come close to that.
Correct.
So then that must be why Mondo did what he did. To keep the promise he'd made to Chihiro. He did what he did? You mean that's why Mondo carried Chihiro from the boys' locker room into the girls' locker room? Oh, okay, so they do have an explanation for that. This is not a real convincing, honorable thing, though.
Indeed.
That's exactly what I mean. Wasn't that to cover up what he'd done?
Certainly.
That could have been part of it, but I don't think it was the main reason. The real purpose was to keep the promise between men he'd made to Chihiro.
But
How does moving the body keep a secret? Because if everyone knew he'd been killed in the boys' locker room, then everyone would have been arguing about how she got into the boys' locker room, right? Once that started up, at least a few of us would have immediately begun to suspect his identity. So, he tried to protect Chihiro's secret by putting him in the girls' locker room and stealing his handbook. See? Then Mondo did all that to keep the promise he'd made to Chihiro, who he'd also killed? Why would he do that? The more I hear you talk, the more I don't understand. I mean, you guys trusted each other, right? So why did you... Because no matter what, I didn't want anyone to know.
I knew it.
So that's what triggered it after all. The possibility of having your embarrassing memories and secrets exposed.
What is this?
That's impossible. Nothing could have been that bad. Something he didn't want anyone to know, even if it meant killing someone?
You're wrong.
It's impossible.
Don't make me repeat myself.
How many times must I repeat myself? To judge others by your own standard is the height of folly. Even if you can't comprehend it, he obviously can. That's all there is to it. Well, while we're on the subject, why don't I tell you? That embarrassing memory, that secret he didn't want anyone to know.
Hey,
You know what Mondo did? He killed his own brother. Mondo, the ultimate biker gang leader, makes all the hoodlums and riffraff across the country tremble. But the only reason he had the chance to join a gang in the first place was because of a certain someone. Mando's older brother's name was Daya Owada. Mando had nothing but respect for him. It was because of Daya that Mando ever got on a motorcycle. Mando's brother was his only family growing up. He was the only one Mando could trust or respect. He wanted to measure up to his bigger brother, so he imitated him in everything he did. Mando was the epitome of the starry-eyed kid brother. Meanwhile, the charismatic older brother had put together a local motorcycle gang. And before anyone knew it, it had grown into the biggest biker gang in the country. Daya, the older brother, number 1 in the gang, and his number 2, his younger brother, Mando. In the beginning, everything was peaches and gravy. Ugh. But when Mando started to think about how he would have to take over the gang from his brother someday, his brother's greatness, his reputation, began to gnaw on Mando's very soul.
The kid's gonna take over for Daya, huh? Daya created this gang with his bare hands. Mando's just along for the ride. Can someone like that really be our leader? All that'll do is make the gang look bad.
Almost every day, Mando heard the gossip and whispers of the other members of the gang, which is why...
I
gotta get stronger than Daya. Once, just one time. No matter what, I gotta win.
Don't fuck with me.
I don't care what it takes. I gotta come out on top.
And on the night of his amazing brother's retirement ceremony, Mando challenged him to a street race. But during the race, tragedy struck. The kid brother pushed ahead with reckless abandon, eager for victory, and dashed into oncoming traffic. But suddenly... laying in his kid brother's arms, the older brother delivered his final words.
My bad, kid. I fucked up. I'm sorry.
Of course, he knew it was his brother's fault, but Daya never blamed him for what happened.
Hey, kid, the rest is up to you. No matter what, you gotta keep the gang together. 'Cause it's the team, you and me put together. It's a promise between men.
He decided to hide the truth of what happened from everyone else in the gang in order to keep the gang together and keep the promise to his brother. He could never admit to anyone that it was his own weakness that had caused the accident. And as a result, the team was made even stronger under the banner of the kid who'd bested his big brother.
Daya was gonna lose to this kid brother, so he got stupid and got himself killed.
That became the explanation for what happened. Mando's lie became the truth. He wanted to lead the team so bad, he was willing to tell all kinds of lies about his brother.
I'm strong. Strong. And yet...
As soon as our killing game began, he realized no matter how tough he pretended to be, he was just another weakling that could die in an instant. And then the lovely, the hateful Monokuma announced the revealing of the embarrassing secrets. At that point, it was clear I would have no problem shedding light on his secrets. Mando killed his own older brother.
No matter what, I couldn't let the other gang members find out. If that happened, everything would have been ruined. Everything me and my brother had worked to create would have been destroyed. His death, all the guilt I'd been carrying around, it all would have been for nothing. So that's why... Mando? After I saw what Monokuma had on me, my head filled up with a kind of fuzzy uneasiness and just started swirling around. I never felt anything like it before.
I just...
didn't know what to do about it. I wasn't sure what to think or say, but after a while, that fuzzy uneasiness turned itself into a rock-hard lump of anxiety way down in my stomach. And it was right around then that Chihiro asked me to start working out with him. I needed to take a drink of water. And right here, and right there, he told me a secret. Seriously? Jesus.
I'm sorry.
But why? Why now? Why are you telling me this all of a sudden?
Huh?
Because, I mean, you've kept that secret all this time, right? If anyone found out, you would...
But...
You're right, but...
I want to change.
I wrap myself in lies. I'm weak. I want to destroy that version of me forever. His words were like a knife in my gut. I felt like he was exposing the lie I'd been living myself. I have to change. I don't want to be weak anymore. You're so strong, it can't hurt you, right? Whatever secret Monokuma might tell us.
You piece of...
So what? You're saying I should just say it?
What?
You're saying if I really am, I should just be able to tell everyone my secrets?
Huh?
I was jealous. I was jealous of Chihiro's strength. He had the strength to face his own weakness, to try and overcome it. It was the kind of strength I've never had. So I was jealous of him, and that jealousy broke me.
What?
Are you making fun of me? I'm strong? Are you fucking with me right now?
No.
I'm not making fun of you. You really are strong, Mondo. I felt like I could hear something starting to creak. Something inside my head. What did he want me to do? What was I supposed to do? Was I supposed to just sit back, let my secret get revealed and ruin everything?
What's wrong?
Damn you!
Why did you have to tell me all that? Are you trying to rub my failure in my face?
I just wanted to...
I really admire you. I admire your strength.
Yeah, that's right.
That's right. I am strong. Strong. I'm strong. Stronger than you.
You son of a bitch.
And stronger than Dea. I don't remember anything after that. When I woke up again, he was laying at my feet, covered in blood. I had the dumbbell in my hand. I was just staring at him, down on the ground. Hey.
I killed him. I killed Chihiro. Even after all this time, I'm still just as weak as I've always been. And thanks to that, I did something I can never take back.
He was normally so aggressive, so angry. He hid that weak side away from everyone. That was his secret. A weakness that lived in a heart like his, and it turned him cold-blooded. God damn it.
Look at him, you see? You're all just like him. For a secret from the past, for a memory. For that, he killed another living human in cold blood. He couldn't cut free of his regrets from the outside world. He doesn't know what true strength is. Do you see hope anywhere in there? 'Cause I sure don't.
You bastard. Just shut up, you son of a bitch. Go ahead, say that again. I dare you.
Yep.
Okay, I'll say it as many times as I want, is what I want to say, but unfortunately, I can't do that right now because the time for punishing is fast approaching. Punishing?
It can't be.
You mean execution?
Well now.
That's what I promised you, right? The Blacken that disturbs the peace will be punished.
Ridiculous.
Hold on.
Now then, I prepared a very special punishment.
For Mondo Owada, the ultimate biker gang leader. Wait.
Let's give it everything we've got. It's punishment time!
Sorry, man. I couldn't keep the promise we made. From one man to another.
The hell? I don't understand what's happening. I feel like the previous one was a lot darker than this one, so I'm kind of glad, but I don't really know what killed him here. Oh, I see now.
Laugh at death, and your soul will forever be at peace.
Can't be. My brother. Another murder and another execution. I want to feel again. Everyone's lives are taken so lightly here. I feel like I might be going mad. Maybe I'll just let it happen. As Taka's sad screams invaded our skulls, we were each forced to realize once again. But he, of course, had to. What a disappointment. This is the end of the game? Byakuya?
What is this?
You're completely insane. You know that? A game? One of our friends is dead. Do you realize that?
Naturally.
Of course I do. Because this game is life or death.
Hey.
I don't have anything to say to you. I don't have a response, except that I just don't understand why. Why did you go out of your way to disguise Mondo's crime?
What?
Why? Isn't it obvious? Because it made things more interesting. His voice was calm, emotionless, like the voice of death. It chilled me to the bone. Last night, when the murder took place, I was in the library as usual.
Honestly.
So you ignored the nighttime rule too? That rule never mattered to me. I don't recall agreeing to it.
There is nothing to be done.
Well, I don't particularly care. Please, continue. The night grew late, and I decided to return to my room, which is when I stumbled upon him. I spotted Mondo coming out of the girls' locker room, and after he'd gone, I looked inside and saw the corpse.
What?
You mean you actually witnessed the murder? He was such a fool. He didn't have the slightest idea that I'd seen him.
Well...
So you're saying you knew who the culprit was from the very beginning?
That's right.
Indeed. But if that had been the end of it, how boring would that have been? I mean, what a waste of time to have the answer revealed right at the beginning. That's what happened in the first case. Which is why I decided to lend a little helping hand. I thought it would liven things up. You did all that to liven things up?
I see.
So after hearing about Genocide Jack from Toko, you decided to use that to create the fake murder scene? But damn, man, if we hadn't figured that out, you would have been dead too, right? Well, obviously I would have revealed the truth before it reached that point, of course. Byakuya turned and looked me in the eye. I could feel his sharp eyes piercing into me. Thanks to a certain remarkable someone, it never did, and I was able to perform an interesting experiment.
Interesting.
Once I do decide to become blackened, I now know who I'll have to watch out for.
Correct.
Ooh, that was actually a pretty good threat. So that was your reason. Are you satisfied?
Indeed.
Yes, we're done listening to your story. Moving on.
Hey.
There's something I'd like to ask Monokuma.
What's this?
Oh, I'm up next?
You
like to perform these elaborate executions each time, correct? My question is, why?
Do you like them? But you know, this punishment, this despair, it's not just for you. All this punishment, all this despair is my gift to mankind itself.
What?
You're over-exaggerating.
I am not over-exaggerating. These punishments are meant to transform all hope to despair.
Damn.
What do you mean? 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 Mean?
What the heck?
Why is he just...
Damn it!
I don't understand why you have to pick apart every little stupid thing.
Whatever. It doesn't matter. In the end, I'm going to stand alone as the victor, and then everything will be revealed to me.
Ooh,
exciting. The noble son of a noble family. Truly, you understand me. I think this is the start of a terrifying friendship.
That's enough.
Shut up. I would never stoop to the level of a childish criminal like you. Let me just say this. After I have achieved complete victory, you're up next. I'm going to find you and kill you. Understand?
In the name of my family.
The Togami family, for which victory is a foregone conclusion.
You're getting all riled up.
It's like you're the main character of a video game or something. No trash mob for you.
I swear, whatever it takes, I will kill you.
Temper, temper. Sounds like someone needs a nap.
Monokuma's laughter peeled across the courtroom and the curtain closed on the case of Chihiro and Mondo. But I knew that wasn't the end. The killing game would still continue because the mastermind wouldn't let it end. For those of us who were still alive, our worst fear and despair kept on multiplying. It was the kind of despair that felt like a blind puppy in hell had more of a future than us. All of our courage, our effort, our friendship, it felt like it amounted to nothing at all. It was the worst kind of despair. Where is this?
Anyway, like I was saying...
Whoa, hold on. What is this?
This is a pretty good spot. Yeah, a really good spot. Anyway, isn't it amazing how that girl went and killed someone before things even had a chance to get boring?
Talking about Sayaka?
Once things really get moving, it'll be like a roller coaster. There won't be any stopping it. Fear and despair charge forward at a speed nothing can hope to match. But I must admit, I'm disappointed. I went to all the pain and effort of making you part of the group, and you couldn't play your part.
Is he talking to one of us?
You do remember you were supposed to make the first move, right? Well, no biggie. Nothing we can do about it now. So just do your best to make things more exciting from now on, okay? After all, that's what everyone wants to see.
I don't know who he's talking to, but I feel like it's one of us, but I can't do a voice. There's one thing I'd like to ask you.
As long as you don't want to know my measurements, fire away.
Who is it? The 16th high school student, I mean. I forgot about that.
Ooh, my, you really took me by surprise there. I know I said you could ask anything, but super denied, ultra denied, demonic denied, because you see, that's my ace in the hole.
There is a 16th student. Where the hell have they been?
And nobody be dumb enough to reveal that, right? No matter how close they were to their friends.
Okay, it's weird that we got taken out into a narrative that we didn't see from our character standpoint. Huh. Yeah, now there's only 10 of us. At least one difficult for me to do voice is gone now. I'll say that much. Got his jacket. Damn. All right. That is another one down. These are long. I guess I don't know how long this one actually was because I had to walk away at one point and because I got stuck at one point. So this case I do feel like was better, and it also completely shot to hell my thinking about how there was a story here where it's like, oh, you guys kept figuring somebody out was the killer, but really it was Monokuma all the time, because it was already on shaky ground to begin with, just because Leon did just eventually admit it at one point. And then in this case, Mondo 100% admitted it. I don't understand what he means. He said, so what that scene we just saw really is opening up this to be something else. So it's definitely pushing the overarching narrative that is going to be for each of these chapters. But he's talking to somebody. I think he's talking to one of us, especially because that question of who is the 16th student. So there is somebody else walking around these halls. But he said, wasn't it good that didn't he say it was good that that girl killed somebody to get things started? I don't know if that was his exact wording. And I thought Sayaka at first, but I was only iffy because Sayaka didn't kill anybody. She attempted to. So I thought his wording was strange. If I got that right, the only thing that fits right now is that the 16th student was a girl. And I don't know that he would be counting Toko as two. Yeah, weird. I can't really figure it out. And I doubt that I'm even supposed to be able to at this point. I did figure some stuff out that I can't believe I did. Yay me for connecting strange dots and finding out later on, oh, there's a reason for it. That will never happen again. So thanks for joining me. I'm really, really enjoying this game. The writing is good. It's got to cut out some of the repetition, though. Maybe it'll do that because, boy, I have got to stop bumping into my own mic. It is a real problem. Maybe it was a slightly less handholdy this time, and maybe that'll continue. But the mini games are getting a little harder. I feel like there's going to be a little more into them, and I'm just worried they're not done showing me stuff. So thanks for joining me, guys. See you for the next one.